All right, everybody, welcome to episode 12 of Just the Gi Top podcast. We're really honored today to have the man, Kurt Osiander, on. Kurt, obviously, at Half Gracie's Academy in San Francisco. So, Kurt, first of all, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me, man.
So, just to go over quickly our regular podcast members, we've got Ahmed Shirani.
Hello.
We've got Jordan Short.
Hey.
We've got Rami Shirani, who's currently training with Kurt in San Francisco as well. So, Kurt, just to get started, maybe you just want to tell us a bit about how you got into jiu-jitsu, sort of what your path has been like so far.
I've been training since about like 1993, and I've been teaching in San Francisco since 1998.
So how did you get started in jiu-jitsu, Kurt?
I was lucky that I knew Cesar Gracie. We went to high school together, and I was already married and kind of like living a married life. And he showed up on my doorstep and showed me a little bit of jiu-jitsu, and I said, "Oh shit, I gotta learn that."
Awesome. And when did you open your own academy? Like, when did you go to San Francisco?
Half put me in charge of San Francisco in 1998.
At that
Excellent.
point, were you a black belt at that point, or were you what rank were you?
I was a purple belt at that point.
Okay.
So, Kurt, you're really well known for the move of the week. How did that get started?
That was kind of like a joke, bro. We just started fucking around and doing some moves on the internet with one of my students, Dimitri McKay, and he started putting them up, and we were just joking around, and all of a sudden it took off, and then all of a sudden Grisham and John Murillo started fucking adding a lot of how can I say more high-tech stuff and some graphics, and it took off from there.
Since that kind of changed.
What's the story with your middle finger, Kurt? Like, that thing, I see it on Instagram every week. It morphs into something even not normal. Like, well, what happened there? Like, was it born that way, or?
That's a jiu-jitsu injury.
So you broke it, I'm assuming.
It did something. I don't know if it's broken, but it's fucked up.
Okay.
Do you have any other injuries like that?
No, nothing as deformed as my finger, thank God.
So kind of going back on track with the move of the week. How has everything changed since that kind of took off? Like, what have you noticed being the biggest game?
I've noticed that there's a lot of people that come through the academy from all kinds of different countries. I'm getting all kinds of emails and requests. It definitely put me into the how can I say, the limelight, or a little bit more popular than I'm used to being.
How do you feel about that, Kurt?
It's cool, but I'm definitely not going to behave, so if you don't like it, I'm sorry, and I'm totally not going to be politically correct, and I never will be.
So, Kurt, have people been have anyone complained to you in the past, or?
No,
Okay.
I think that people that find me offensive will stay away from me.
I feel like that's one of the big draws to you, though, is that you'll say anything and you're kind of a little bit wild, and that's what people find appealing.
Definitely, I'm not gonna hold back, or how can I say, cloak what I'm gonna try to say. I'm gonna say it right out. I'm gonna say it straight out, and I think people appreciate my honesty, and I'm gonna stay honest. So I like that.
So, Kurt,
I like people to be like that.
So, Kurt, when you're when you're teaching your students and they fucked up, or mess up a move or not doing it right, whatever. Have any newcomers come to your school go, oh wow, this guy's yelling at me? Well, what's going on? Like, does anyone complain about that, or is it just expected? Or
Nobody's complained about it, so I'm glad about that.
yeah.
I punched some of them in their heads and slapped them.
I think that people.
I usually find the people that will how can I say stand that kind of abuse, because some people there's different level of people there. Some people are there just to have fun, do a hobby, you know what I'm saying? And there's the high level guys. The high level guys like Rami, I'm gonna hit you in your head. Rami did good this weekend. I think he won some.
No,
I think he was on the podium.
I let you down this weekend, actually.
You got second?
Yeah, I got second, but I got second for losing.
Well,
I did really bad this weekend.
The important thing is what I try to focus with our team is that we're always on the podium. It doesn't matter where. I mean, we're always there. So just like a fucking disease, no matter what, you're always going to find us in first, second, or third, and a lot of times you're going to find us in first.
Kurt, it's interesting because you talk about the high level guys, the guys that are really committed, and you're hitting Rami on the head. But in talking with people who train under you, people are very loyal to you. So obviously, I think how you're very real. Obviously, you make a connection with people in that way. So, have you always been that way? Has that always kind of been your style, just to be very real?
I think so, and I think all my guys just follow my lead, because I'm going to get on the podium one way or another. I'm going to do what it takes to win, and so I think my guys realize that that's just the way it is, and they follow me, and that's what I like. I like to lead by example, and that's why my guys do so well.
So leading by example, Kurt, that goes to another question is, how often do you compete? Like, I know you did PANS not too long ago, and any other tournaments coming up for you in particular?
I'm coming up on Old Man Worlds, and I will do Old Man Worlds and see what I can do. I always aim for doing double gold, so we'll see what I can do, And if that doesn't work out and I feel good, I'll do U.S. Open. So we'll see what happens this year.
And sorry. I was just going to follow up with the question. So do you do Worlds, Old Man Worlds? That's a good drink. And PANS, is that about it? And
I only do the big tournaments because, how can I say this? I'm only going to risk my body for really good titles. You know what I'm saying? I'm having some major malfunctions in my training because of how hard I push myself. So I'm only going to go after the big tournaments.
Kurt, I just had a question about your run at Old Man Worlds. I was speaking to somebody today who's hoping to meet you in the finals there, Bill Hodder. And Bill was mentioning, obviously, that he used to train under you, and he was wondering, if you've trained or if you've competed against other former students before, and how you feel about that.
It's kind of a thing that's inevitable. If you stay in the game as long as I have, you're going to hit your own students. I really don't give a shit, I'm going to do what I do. I always train as hard as I do all week long, every day, all year long. So when I start to turn it up to get ready for a tournament, they're going to get the best of me or the worst of me, You never can tell. It depends how my health is and everything, but I'm definitely coming in to get that title. I don't have a world title. I keep winning the Pan Ams, and I've been trying to double gold since 2003, and I just keep getting gold and silver and gold, alternating in my divisions. And I'm always trying to do double gold. So I'm not fucking around. I'm coming after my title, and everybody thinks, oh, it's senior 3, but it's not as easy as everybody likes to think. The Masters division is fucking filled with ex-champions. So these are guys that have been around for a long time, and I don't take anybody lightly.
You said that you ramp up your training to get ready for tournament. What sort of things do you change in your training to get ready?
I train harder and more, and I start doing a lot of stand-up, and I don't skimp on training, and I've created an environment where I teach that is just super crazy. I have high level guys to train with all night long, all day long, and it's a nightmare.
It just seems like you spend so much time at the club already. From everybody that we talk to, you say that you spend tons of time there. So I just don't see how you could train harder for a tournament.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
I'll work on my endurance and on my strategy, and that's about it. There's always something you can work on. That's what's cool about jiu-jitsu. It's there's always something to work out.
Awesome.
So leading up to a tournament, like how I know, like you say that you just turn it up a little more, that you work on your endurance, certain techniques, your game plan, and whatnot. What about, let's say, the week of the fight or the tournament, or the couple days leading up to it? Is there anything specific that you go through mentally, or anything specific that you want to mention?
I like to visualize what's going to happen, or the what ifs, and I get 48 hours of rest so that my muscles are totally rested. But I pretty much know how the fight's going to go, and my responses to what's going to happen. And I hope that I make the right decisions. So that's all you can do. And the cool thing about competing is you can do all the preparation you want, but a little luck is always good. Just a little sprinkle.
Yeah, I hear you.
Kurt,
Just speaking of,
go
sorry.
ahead, man.
Oh, sorry, Kurt, quick question. Training. We talked training. I know you train like a fiend. You're there early in the morning. We all watched the Budo video, interview there. And so we see your schedule. You're up really early in the morning, skipping rope right there, right to the end. So just training in Brazil versus training in the United States. You train in Brazil, right?
Absolutely.
And how is it different from in the United States or Canada or whatever, but let's just say United States. But right now,
I think that there's more distractions in Brazil than there is here in the United States. And now that all their instructors are here, we don't really need to go down there,
Okay, so
What do you mean?
It's more of like, okay, cool, I went down to Brazil and I trained and hung out at the beach. That's it.
Okay. Okay, good to know.
Kurt, you post a lot on Facebook and Instagram, a lot of drawings, artwork, like especially tattoo-related stuff. Is that something you've always been interested in? Is it something that you want to get into more?
No, I was just I started hanging out over at Seventh Son a lot, and basically they're teaching me what their how can I say, their apprentices go through. So I started doing like an impromptu kind of apprenticeship with Seventh Son and doing what Luke did to get as good as he is at tattooing, and Joey and Jeff and Gordon and Cecilia and Nick and Greg Rojas and Orly, all the guys that tattoo at Seventh Son, they totally helped me, and it's a super support group that you couldn't ask for more. So that's why you guys see my drawings evolving faster than usual, even though it takes me longer than normal people. But it's really cool. I don't know if I'll ever tattoo, but I just want to get really good at art.
Nice.
What are the sort of things that you like to draw?
Right now, I'm just doing what Luke tells me to, and everybody there helps me how to hone my skills. Right now, pretty much I'm doing all traditional American tattooing, like you know Jerry Saylor and fucking all, just totally all old style look with like very much 3 color, maybe 4 color max, with very very simple drawings. But those guys are like upgrading me and making me do it a little bit cooler than that. And but it's really cool. I can't wait to be able to do. Basically, I'm doing this so I can design my own T-shirts, so I don't have to have somebody else do it. You know?
Chris, speaking of artwork, on your Facebook page, there's this really awesome picture. It's like you standing on the bridge there, and like I think there's demons at the bottom or whatever. Yeah, who drew that? Man? That thing's awesome.
No, that like apocalyptic Kurt.
Yeah, that's badass.
Yeah, no, that's done by a friend of mine, Zip, and he did that. He did that artwork.
So, Kurt, are you a metalhead? I know at the beginning of the Move of the Week, there's some metal. Is that something you're into?
Yeah, that's something I'm into. I like the heavy music.
What are some of your favorite bands?
Oh man, I like Metallica, I like Death Angel, I like Sepultura, I like Slayer, I like Anthrax, I like, oh man, there's too many bands to name, but I like the really heavy stuff. Pantera.
Oh, Pantera, there it is.
You know, I like the really heavy shit.
You like some of the older stuff, then you prefer more of the old school metal?
Bro, there's the only good metal I've heard around here normally right now is like Lamb of God, Five Finger Death Punch. Death Angel has made a big comeback. They're fucking heavy as shit. But
Metallica's right out of the Bay Area too, right? So they would have been around.
There's not that much good metal, but now there is, so I'm happy.
Cool. Do you play any instruments?
Partially.
You ever been in a band, Kurt?
I was in a band. I'm a lead singer.
No way, really?
Yes.
You actually have? Do you have any of the samples still out there?
Yeah, I have them somewhere around here in my garage. I don't know where, but yeah, there's some demo tapes.
That's awesome. I actually used to be in a band too. I was in a death metal band. I did vocals as well.
Nice.
Let's just leave them alone there.
we can have our own hangout later, Kurt.
It's so gay. Oh, fuck.
Hey guys, can I go on to the MMA question, guys? You alright with that?
Go.
Hey Adam. Yeah. No. Okay. Really quick. I know you didn't fight in. It's been 2008 since your last MMA fight, and you won that one. And I know it's been 5 years, but is there any chance of you coming back into the cage?
I don't think so, man. It's the camp that's really hard. It's not the fight. The camp is fucking so brutal. The fucking training, the 6 weeks or 8 weeks that you do to get ready for the fight is insane, bro. It's worse than anything you could ever imagine.
It was under Strike Force, right? That was Strike Force your last fight?
Yeah, I was doing Strike Force and I was doing King of the Cage. And after I won that last fight, I made a mistake. I should have kept going, but fuck, I was like 46, bro. What do you want me to fucking do, you know? I think it was good enough. I thought I went as far as I was gonna go. At that point, if I was smarter and it was back then, I should have kept going.
Can you tell us about any of the shady politics in MMA? I don't know. I don't want you to mention anything about Strike Force, whatever. But
those guys are padding their dossier, like, you know, they're getting fed a bunch of tomato cans, and they're like, "Will you fight this guy?" And I'm like, "Bro, I don't give a fuck who I fight. Put the fucking motherfucker out there. I don't give a shit." And a lot of guys, they're like, "No, I won't fight him. I'll fight him," because they know that they're going to get a good result. it's becoming like a, how can I say, a pageant. It's like, oh, I've got so many wins, versus losses. But, if you're just killing cans, you're going to end up hitting a lion, and the lion's going to know the difference.
Okay. Now, this is another question. Maybe just follow up on the MMA. Maybe you can't answer it, but is the money really as bad? I mean, like even back then, you were a name. You know what I mean? So.
No, it was good when I was doing
Okay.
it. It started out like shit, and it got good. I was getting 5 and 5. You know what I'm saying? 5 to show, 5,000 to win.
Nice.
And all of a sudden, after all of us in that time built it up to that point, there was a huge influx of inferior fighters that would bleed for almost free. And all of a sudden, it went back down to like, okay, you get 500 to show, 500 to fight.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the good fighters were like, well, I'm not going to fight for that much money. I think that the influx of inferior fighters has definitely dropped the price of our blood. And so you got inferior fighters, but you get what the masses want, right? They want blood, wine, and bread. You know what I'm saying? It's a very old thing, and that's what they're getting.
Yeah.
So, Kurt, maybe just to bring it back to BJJ quickly, how, you've been doing BJJ for a long time now. How have you seen it progressing? What are the new fads that you're seeing? How do you feel about the new jiu-jitsu?
Well, how I feel about this.
Is that Irish? Is it... Oh no, he's making fun of Canadians. Oh my god.
How I feel about this.
Yeah, Adam, you do say that, man. You totally.
I don't hear it. But...
I think that there's a lot of guys that are doing strategy and fighting for an advantage win, and they think it's great. I will never teach my guys that. We're always going for the finish. We're going to make points because we're trying to finish you, and the whole time we're going to try to finish you. And that's just the way that I'm going to raise my guys. And if we lose because of that, so be it. But I'm not going to have my guys fight for advantages and stall.
Is that why you wanted to do the KO finisher? Is that kind of what gave rise to that?
That's pretty much why I came up with that. And what was really cool is my guys organized that, did everything for me, did nothing. They pretty much took what my vision was, and they did it really cool. And I believe that we're going to start doing them throughout the United States. And that's really crazy to me, but it's really cool. So I hope that we get a good result, because you're not going to just do a one and out. You're going to have to fight quite a lot and still be out, but you're going to get more than one fight.
I really like that matchup you have. It's like 5-minute time limit, and if you don't sub each other, you lose. I mean, that gets guys really opening their game up.
Hey, I'm trying to make a really hyperactive round where you're trying to finish each other. And if you're out there trying to finish each other, that's plenty of time.
Awesome.
Hey, so Kurt, obviously you've been training. You said you were training since 1993. Through all that time, do you have a couple moments that are like really memorable, that really stick out to you in terms of your jiu-jitsu or just your experience overall?
Yeah, I remember being really frustrated and getting to the academy kind of late, and Half going, "No, you can't train today. Go home. You can't train. Go home. You're not allowed to train today." And I was like, "What? Oh fuck! What the fuck am I gonna do?" And I'd go home to my house, and be all fucked up and crazy, psychopathic. And I'd take my gis out and I'd throw them in the garbage can and go, "Fuck that shit. I don't need this shit. I quit." And, that would last only a little while, and I'd go, "Oh, fuck. My gis are in the garbage can." If I go back out there, get my geese back out of the garbage can, fuck. I have never quit anything in my whole fucking life. I will not quit this.
Is it just because you were late? That was.
Yeah, you couldn't be late in the old days, and nowadays you can be late. You know, you're just a normal student paying money. But in my day, I was a sponsored, scholarship athlete, and I had requirements to be at a certain place at a certain time and train a certain amount of time.
Kurt, do you have any other funny health stories from the academy at all from back in the day?
There's a lot. There was one time that Nino Shembri and Half were at the academy, and me and my buddy Ed were cleaning the mats, and those guys were practicing whipping their belts. I'm talking a long stroke of the belt. So you'd whip the belt, and at the end, it would take a piece of flesh off. And so it was Nino Shembri and Hal, and they whipped us into a corner, and we jumped on these chairs like lions, and they would whip us, and we were like, rah! and Hal thought that was the funniest thing he's ever seen, is to get people to act like lions and whip them into chairs. But that's definitely something I will never forget.
I bet.
Sorry, how long ago was that again?
Oh, man, that was 95, 96.
Oh, damn.
What do you think it is that changed to stop that kind of environment? Like, why isn't it like that anymore?
Yeah, like, I wish it was like that right now.
Because people who pay money don't want to be abused.
That's a quote right there.
Do you think it's because people are softer these days than they were back when you started?
Fucking A, they are fucking soft. They're fucking a bunch of soft fucking Mercedes driving motherfuckers. Fuck them. And then I'll take my competition guys and totally segregate them and make them tougher than shit.
Kurt, at your school, your competition guys versus your casual guys, do you offer more little inside tricks and whatnot? I guess I'm kind of answering my own question, but do you offer more inside tricks to your competitors versus, people who are just trying to get in shape and live a healthy lifestyle?
There's really no difference. It's just the application and the evilness of your jiu-jitsu. Everybody gets the same move, but, if you go after it more than the other guy, you're going to get more results. And the guys that are just doing it for a hobby, the only thing they lack is a little bit more physical prowess, you know what I'm saying, to the competition guys. The competition guys won't get tired, and they'll get tired, and then they'll get tapped, you know what I'm saying? So I think the competition guys are just in better shape.
Okay.
Do your competition guys get a lot more personal attention than the regulars?
Absolutely. If you're fucking hanging out with me, I'm going to fucking tune your game up way more than if you're just fucking hanging out on the outskirts.
And just like, I'm kind of interested, because we ask everybody this question pretty much, but what are your thoughts on drilling versus rolling? What percentage do you think is like? What balance do you have to keep?
Oh, drilling is great, but there's nothing compared to live fire. Live fire is live fire. You're gonna learn the most right there.
That's awesome.
Can you give people an overview of what your day would be like when you're actually? I know you kind of went over it a little bit.
Well, I'll hang out with you guys and do the 10 a.m. and drill for an hour if I can. If I'm not tired, I'll drill too. Just like you guys, I'll drill, and then I live fire 6.6s, and that's just mandatory. And when it starts getting closer to other competition, we start doing 6.8s. 6.10s, because the young guys need to get ready for their time constraints. 6 minutes and 5 minutes is fucking gravy. you start getting ready for 8s and 10s. That's where it starts getting really fucked up. But yeah, uh, what's cool about our academy is everybody gets ready for the competition. Everybody does U.S. Open or America Cup or whatever's in the area, and we always get really good results.
Kurt, do you sell affiliations? Do you have any affiliate clubs? Kurt Osiander clubs set up around the country?
Huh. I have one in Arcata. I have one in San Francisco and one in Hayward. So that's it. I have like 3 affiliates.
What's the criteria to get an affiliation with you?
Not much. They basically got brought up with me and then opened up their own academies.
Would you ever be open to, like, let's say there's a club out there or an academy that has no affiliation? Are you ever open to just having your name associated?
Absolutely. I'm open to that. Somebody from New Hampshire contacted me, and I was like, fuck, are you crazy?
No, see, well, from what I understand, like, if let's say I wanted a Kurt Osiander affiliation, let's say in Toronto, from what I understand, some guys, what they do is they insist that, okay, Kurt must have a seminar once or twice a year in Toronto, and fly him down, and stuff like that. Like I guess that's why some affiliations are expensive. So, is that
actually that's the cheap version?
Oh, is it? Okay.
2 seminars a year is really easy. Some people require monthly dues and the 2 seminars a year and more.
So Kurt, what are your thoughts on people changing schools? I mean, there's been some fairly high-profile people lately that have changed affiliations, not like gone from one school to another. What are your thoughts on that?
If you move and there's no way for you to make it back to your school, you have to change schools. If you can stay in the family, that's fucking awesome. Stay in your affiliates and your family lineage, that's awesome. What else? Some of the guys jump teams like they change underwear, and I don't like that, and they really aren't loyal, so fuck them.
Well, what's the term for that? I don't know how to pronounce it. Creo something? Creonch. And that's Portuguese for
traitor.
So just, this is another interesting topic, and I've mentioned on the podcast before about affiliations and loyalty and staying in a family. If 2 of your students, let's say Rami and someone else, have to face each other in the quarterfinals or the semis or the finals, is it disrespectful to face one another? Do you encourage it? How does that work with you?
I would rather have them kill each other.
Okay.
Do you have any
decided by the gods of combat?
Do you have any objection to them just like doing rock paper scissors or anything like that, or do you want them to?
Sometimes I will decide who is the more valid or senior student and put them through.
Okay.
Or I will make them fight until the death.
Have you had to do that? Have you, like, not to the death, but I mean, have you, let's say,
Yes.
say, no,
Yes, they have to fight until the death.
you let fighter A beat fighter B, and then do you make him come back to the academy and just go at it, or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh man.
Like,
right.
no, you let me go, and now we're back here at the academy. I want to see what's up. I'm like, fuck yeah, kill each other.
Okay.
Okay, well, I think we wanted to start fan questions right now.
Yeah, sure.
Because Kurt, we had a whole bunch of people that messaged us and they wanted to ask you particular questions.
Really?
Oh yeah.
There was people?
Lots of them.
Jordan, you want to start?
Shit. Hang on,
Okay.
I'm going to go make another cocktail.
Okay. All right. Well, as Kurt goes next to drink,
Yes.
and we are
Sponsored?
live, so we didn't even plan this. Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
Okay, so you might have noticed, for those of you who are tuning in live or watching the video feed, that we are all actually wearing gi tops today. So we want to announce our first sponsor, VHTS. Very hard to submit, which is probably more applicable to the other three panel members than me. But
I don't know.
we just wanted to say thank you very much to GiTac who hooked us up with these gis. So you'll see us wearing them on the podcast. We're gonna compete in them, and so thank you very much. Veryhardtosubmit.com. Check them out. Kurt's back, so we'll get back to the questions. We'll talk a bit more about that later.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Kurt. You got a drink?
Got it.
All right. Cool.
Okay, first question is from Aaron Daniels. What is this? This isn't worded very well. Who has the top jiu-jitsu in MMA? And what's some advice for a competition player who doesn't care about points?
What?
It's a two-part question that's completely two different questions. So
Yeah.
So-
So just do the first one, which is who has the best jiu-jitsu in MMA, in your opinion?
Ooh. Damian Maya's got some good jiu-jitsu, bro.
Any reason why?
Because he's got a really nice jiu-jitsu, but also Braga Neto has some nice jiu-jitsu, bro. Some really fucking high-level jiu-jitsu where you're not gonna. I was training with Neto, and I was trying to punch him, and every time I'd raise my hand, he'd wiggle around, and I'd have to post. And I'm like, fuck, I'm going to get one fucking punch, and then I'm going to go on bottom. And I went, fuck it, I'm going to do it. So I punched him once, and I went on bottom, and I was like, fuck. So, yeah, like Braga Neto has some fucking awesome jiu-jitsu. Damian Maya, super awesome jiu-jitsu. BJ's coming back. I guess he's going to fight Frankie Edgar. Man, there's a lot of shit going on.
what do you think of BJ fighting at 145?
Yeah.
It's really light for him, bro. I think that weight cut always fucked with him. I always did. I think he weighs naturally like 175, 180. And that's a lot of dieting and fucking discipline. And that's tough on Hawaii, bro. I don't know. We'll see.
And the second part of the question was, I guess, advice for a competitor who doesn't care about points. So I guess, let's say the concept of points escapes them. What's your advice? And then,
Well, that's pretty much me. You're going to make points trying to tap the guy, but if you can stop from being such a madman and make some points and then tap him, it would be better.
Just to like really show your dominance, I guess. Right?
I know that I'm going to make points. I'm going to fucking throw you on the ground. I'm going to fucking pass your guard. I'm going to knee on stomach. I'm going to be fucking 7 points up, and then I'm going to fucking choke you. So, I'm not fucking around. I'm going to fucking make points, just going to where I'm going to go.
So you think that getting points should be a direct result of you going for and setting up a submission?
Absolutely.
awesome. So yeah, there you go, Aaron Daniels. That is the answer to your two questions from the man.
The next question we got is, do you have any seminars coming to the Southern California area in any of the Half Gracie gyms over there? This is from.
I think we're gonna do a KO finisher in February in LA. But don't mark my words because I don't know shit. But my guys tell me that we're gonna do one in LA.
Okay. Okay.
As
But
far
other
as
than
affiliates, the only Ralph Gracie affiliates in LA are Mamouche and Mamouche is in like fucking the Valley, and then Chino Hills, Sean Roberts. So
Do you ever
those
do-
are-
do you ever do any
Yes,
seminars down there?
Oh, I would love to. If you want me to come down there, you contact me through kurt@kurtosiander.com, and I will come down there and I will do a seminar.
There you go, Jim Peterson. So for Jim Peterson, if you want to contact him at kurt@kurtosiander.com. And then for there's another question here from Chris Papandrea. He asks, what's the best way to advance? Should I continue adding to my aggressive basic game or stay the course with what I already do? So what's the best way to advance?
Oh, man, your basic game will always kill a fancy game, but you always have to upgrade and know everything, but train everything and always try to keep up on what's going on. But I'll tell you what, your basics, good solid basics will always destroy fancy stuff.
Kurt, another question from Nicole Kenkolowitz, I believe, asks, how do you keep your hair from being ripped out in huge chunks when you roll or compete? You don't braid it up like most guys. You just let it flow, man. Like, you know.
I wet it down before I train and before I compete, so it slides more. So I wet it down, and it's already got a lot of conditioner in it, so it's really slippery, and that's what I do, and I don't lose clumps of hair.
So Kurt, how come like there's sometimes on your Facebook there's pictures of you getting it straightened and it looks really beautiful? Like, well, what's that all about?
Do not get my hair straightened.
Well, hold the flattening iron or something. I see it. What's that all about, though?
Well, what's that all about?
I didn't say it like
that. What's that all about?
I said
I
about.
don't get my hair straightened ever.
Kurt, I think I saw from last year's Old Man World you ended up in a bun or something, didn't you?
No, I just put it up, bro.
All right, we have one more question, Kurt.
Last one.
So from Gil Jeremilo, he said, ask Kurt about his passion for jiu-jitsu. So what makes your passion for the sport so unwavering, Kurt?
What's really cool is every day I learn something new and discover something new about an old position or learn how to translate it to people better. So every day is a cool new day. There's never a stale day because I know that every day I'm going to learn something new.
Awesome, thank you. Does anybody else have any follow-up questions, kind of last questions for Kurt at all?
I think I'm good.
I think probably the most important question is, Kurt, since you said you've been in the limelight with your internet popularity, how are you dealing with your groupies?
What?
Well, yeah,
my wife just laughed out loud. She's like, huh? The groupies she's ever heard. There are no groupies.
Okay. Sad but true. There's only rock and roll hair. There's no rock and roll lifestyle. That's for sure. You know what, though? There is another one, really quick. Rami says that you scare the shit out of him. Is that a legitimate fear?
I don't know. Sometimes when Rami does something wrong, I might scream at him. It might scare the shit out of him. But otherwise, I'm not trying to scare the shit out of him all the time. No.
He looks like he's been frozen in fear for the majority of this entire podcast. Actually,
you guys have no idea how dedicated Rami is. Rami would quit his job and just be a jiu-jitsu bum if he could. Rami doesn't want to go to work. Rami wants to hang out with me and just drill and then fucking win gold medals.
Rami, you should do that. Put
your mom would fucking kill me.
Okay, so Kurt, just wanted to say thank you so much for coming on. Did you have any final things you wanted to say? Any sponsors you want to shout out to?
I'm totally sponsored by Show Roll now, so I am Mr. Show Your Roll. I got Show Your Roll underpants, god damn it. And Q5, Afterglow, Seventh Son. I got a bunch of sponsors now. Pahada Fight Gear, Warhorse Tattoos, Barbary Coast Medical Dispensary. Fuck, I only sponsor people that I believe in, so I'm not a sellout. So all these places are really cool.
It's awesome.
All right, so thanks so much for coming on, Kurt. It was awesome to have you. Before we sign off, again, just want to say shout out to our sponsor, VHTS, veryhardtosubmit.com. Thank you so much for the geese. Go check them out. It's a new company. They're doing great things. So does anybody else have any final words at all?
That's it.
Hey, what's this? This is all a boot, and we're gonna shout ooh.
All right, shoot out to our sponsor. So thanks very much, Kurt, for coming on. We're going to wrap it up here. All right, take care, guys.
There, guys. See ya.